Okay, so we are live now. Let's wait a bit. We still have 2 minutes, so let's wait some time and uh, let's play a video for you. Hey Draco. Hey Joel. We are
Hey,
live
what's
now.
up, guys? Okay, cool. Is the where's the Substack live link?
Okay, I'm sharing it with you. Give me a yeah. Check your messenger.
Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay. Hey, Rakesh,
Hey Joel.
do we know how to block anybody if we need to?
Yep.
Okay.
Do you want me to?
No, not yet, but if we need to, I want you to be, I want it to be available, right?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, how are you doing? Welcome to iodnations.org, international online democratic nations.org. Are committed to um, expanding the conversation across the world about what online citizen-led democracy can become. And we are working to unite as many of you as possible at IOD Nations to help us get that conversation happening and spread that message. So happy Harpy, welcome. We're glad to see you here. Very cool to have you. Everybody else who's here, I can't see your names. It shows that we've got 30 people, which is a great way to open the show. It will get us closer to getting things underway. Elizabeth, welcome. You're at IOD Nations, iodnations.org, International Online Democratic Nations. And we're just going to chat for a little while as people come into the live feed. Before we begin the show, typically we like to try and get somewhere around 40 to 50 people in here before we begin the meat of the show. As you come in, you should know we are, as far as we know, the only live Substack that is actually pursuing strategies and tactics to give people a way to actually have a significant impact on events. And we believe that that will happen because large numbers of you are going to choose to unite as different entities online democratically. So Lee, for instance, if you are female, you might choose to become a citizen of the International Online Democratic Women's Nation in the future. And let's say that Happy Harpy is from Denmark, for instance. Uh, we anticipate that soon the citizens of Denmark will recognize that they can unite online and develop their own citizen-led democracy, just the way that Taiwan has been doing for the last 11 years. And if Happy Harpy were from Denmark, then Happy could be a citizen of online democratic Denmark. And that online democratic citizen can set up their own Bill of Rights, their own constitution, their own voting protocols. They might choose to use ranked choice voting, which is something that California could really use right now. And that's what would happen. And you guys would be your own nation, and then you would begin implementing policies and exercising your power and influence across the internet and across the world. Because the larger, the more collaborators or citizens that we develop online, the more powerful and influential we become. And we believe that democracy is clearly calling for that to be happening right now. And so that's why you're here to discuss the power and potential of online citizen-led democracy. So welcome. We've got 35 people. We're going to wait. We're going to see if we can get Peter, Jill, and Chardonnay in here today and try and get up to around 35 people. So as we're waiting, is there anyone in here in the audience who would be willing to um, tell us, type in the chat, like how you heard about IOD Nations? Have you heard about online citizen-led democracy, the way that Taiwan is doing it? Perhaps are you aware of what's going on right now? Iceland, Switzerland, the Netherlands, and Ireland are all in the process of integrating or at least investigating online citizen-led democracy in in the way that Taiwan is doing it, where the citizens are online and they're communicating through their online platform, and that's becoming a far more interactive, efficient, and effective way for the citizens and their government to work together. So if anyone here is familiar with any of that, has any questions about what online citizen-led democracy is or can be, feel free to ask us a question and jump in. Like I said, we'll get to the meat of the show and share some things with you and some progress we've got going in just a little bit. So thank you for being here and welcome. If you have to get out of this live chat early because we try to balance. A lot of people they just don't think about or understand the possibilities of what happens when we unite online as pro-democracy citizens. So there's a fair amount of explanation that goes into these live feeds. What we do that's different from any other live feed you'll come into is we have outreach that's going to be that's going on right now. We are asking those of you who are interested in just following us and learning more about what online citizen-led democracy can be and can become, or especially if you're interested in getting into the process of our email outreach campaigns, or even participating with us in helping make those happen. The guys are going to drop an email address in the chat here in Substack, and in that you can email us and indicate if you just want to follow us, if you want to participate in some of these campaigns that we're doing and actually help make them happen, or if you want to help lead that. Okay, we've got several ways that you can help us organize, and we can get more of these campaigns going, because the whole objective is to get as many people as possible to unite online democratically. And I see a lot of new names today. So welcome to everyone. We're going to get into the show. I'm actually going to wait for a couple of minutes because I was thinking that Peter would be here. Um, if you're watching us in our Zoom feed, so we have a Zoom feed and we have a Substack going at the same time right now. If you're watching us in the Zoom feed, you'll see up at the top of the video, you'll see IOD Nations, and you'll see Rakesh. Rakesh is one of the people, one of the primary people, along with Draco, Nosib, and Shiem, who are working with us from Bangladesh in furthering this movement. And you'll get to hear from them and talk to them as we go through today. So let's go and Rakesh, let's pull up the video of Dan, and we're going to share a video with you of Dan. Dan is from England, and he was in one of our live feeds the other day, and we're working on putting together a campaign with Dan and Jill in England, and we're going to share with you what Dan had to say about IOD Nations when he learned about it. Welcome, Karma. Glad to see you here. So Rakesh will share that video in just a minute. Jean, how are you doing? Paulina, Sue, Sonia, Joseph, Sarah, Lee, Connie, Teresa, Dunn, Bruce, Vivian, welcome to all of you guys. We're glad to hear you here. Glad to have you here. And we're going to work through. Okay. So Rakesh is going to share a video with us of what Dan had to say about IOD Nations when he came in and learned about it.
There
Hey,
you go.
Jamie, welcome back.
Okay, let's
Glad
watch
to
the
see you
video.
here. Okay, we're going to watch the video, guys.
dissatisfaction. There is a feeling globally, I think, of dissatisfaction with the current state of the world. Um, I've drafted this article talking about the One Piece movement. I'm not sure if you guys know about that One Piece manga. Um, yeah, but it's become a rallying flag, essentially, about freedom. And I just find it really interesting. I'm really happy that IOD exists. I'm really starting to learn about it now, but it seems like the logical next step, really. But the fact is, according to my theories, basically, then the natural state of affairs is that there are just extraction exists, political extraction, economic extraction. People at the micro level in their interactions will always try to benefit themselves, and that's the normal state of affairs. And we need robust um, company relationships and political relationships, robust regulatory institutions as well. And at the moment, we're going through a problematic period, where essentially that robustness has collapsed. I think we all know that it's essentially happened. There's some pockets of hope. So Mamdani, for instance, I see that as quite hopeful. Um, and but we're in a period of transition, what some people call the fourth turning. I'm not sure if I subscribe so much to that particular kind of view. But my mathematics, which I've conjectured, is essentially saying that the natural state of affairs is that things are going to get worse, but that with the correct institutional setups, and with things like this, like IOD, to keep incentives aligned, and to have better alignment, then the future could be much better.
All right, we have Chardonnay with us,
Hey, Chardonnay, how are you?
and we also have Catherine.
Hey, Catherine. And anyone who is in the live chat, if you would, on Substack, if you would like to come into our Zoom feed and talk with us, that's always open. And so for everybody who's just come in, the gentleman that you just heard, Dan, is from England. And what Dan is referring to when he's talking about our systems being broken, um, when I began trying to convey the idea about 10 years ago of what online citizen-led democracy could become, it took me several years to really refine it and try to find a way to get people to understand. And the one key phrase that I came on was based upon, okay, Dan or Gene, we will work on that. We're working on that stuff. And actually, if there's a note there for Gene, Gene saying the video of Dan's sound quality is poor. And this, we are a bit rough around the edges. We're a very small group working on this, and that is why we have opened things up, and we are looking for people who want to come in and help, and we could use help. We have a lot of video editing work that can be done, and video creation that we're working on. And so any of those things, if you see something and you think I could help with that and I would like to, we would welcome that. Um, the purpose, or when you think about what Dan was talking about, okay? Dan is saying that our systems are broken and we're looking for new ways. And the phrase that I came up, or the saying that I came up with, that indicates what IOD Nations can do is based upon this premise. If a business no longer requires brick and mortar, then a nation no longer requires land and borders. So if you were here at the beginning today, I mentioned, for instance, the International Online Democratic Women's Nation, right? Women, or the world's youth, or BIPOC, or any group, right? Um, Artists, musicians, any group can unite online and form their own collaboration, their own nation. Okay. And if they form that nation, then they can create their own Bill of Rights, their own constitution, whatever it is that they want to create, their voting structure. They become their own online citizen-led nation. So we say, imagine in today's world, if the musicians and the artists of the world wanted to create a music sharing platform of their own. Okay, what Spotify has done, or what iTunes has done, or whatever those guys have done, that can actually be created by AI now. Okay, now I don't want to make it as simple as just clicking a mouse or tapping a screen, but in essence, the musicians of the world could create their own online music sharing platform. Okay, and from that platform, they could collaborate with the International Online Democratic Women's Nation, okay? And they could market themselves as an online music sharing platform, and they could promote and support freedom and democracy as a part of that, and they could make sure that a portion of the profits goes back to the musicians, that is now going towards very wealthy and powerful entities that are taking advantage of the musicians. Okay. Um, Neurodivergence, Happy Harpy. Boy, is that a nation I would join. How come I haven't said that before? For all of us, Rakesh, can you send Greg
Yeah, I
a
saw his
Zoom link?
message and I'm sharing it with him.
Okay. So any group can unite online. They can establish their goals and objectives as an online entity that collaborates. Okay. And they can pursue their own agenda. And if they do that, right, if they choose to do that, then they can reach out to these other online democratic entities and collaborations or nations. Okay. And so you have Happy Harpy talks about the neurodivergence. Jill, who is from England and is working closely with us and volunteering, despite some really challenging illness and things to overcome. What what Jill talked about is how an online democratic disabled nation could represent and help those people with disabilities in England, where she is, and all across the world. And actually, Jill also worked extensively before her condition prevented her from working anymore, she worked extensively with autistics, and that was her whole career. And so when Happy Harpy talks about the neurodivergence nation and the disabled nation could both collaborate, right? Imagine how many people that would be, and the special needs that they could address. And so the point of all of this is that at the tap of a mouse, or I don't have my phone here in front of me, imagine that. At the tap of a mouse or a tap of your screen on your phone, we could all go to a location, which we recommend be iodnations.org. And in that location, and we're going to show you how that portal is functioning or is beginning to function now. And you could collaborate on causes and issues that are important to you and champion those. And imagine how much more effective that would be. Imagine if disabled people actually got a real voice in voting rights. Okay, right now, we in the United States, we have online voting under attack. And that is going to have a profound impact on poor people who don't have transportation, the elderly who aren't really mobile, people who are disabled. Okay. And what happens and what happened in Taiwan in 2014, there was a massive rebellion called the Sunflower Movement because the government only had a 7 or a 9% approval rating. And since then, they've implemented an online portal, and now the citizens have a 70% approval rating of their government. And that's happening because they can go into the portal, they can put issues in, and those issues, if 5,000 people vote that they want that issue dealt with, then that issue is dealt with. So, for instance, a young girl, I think she was 17 years old, put in a proposal to ban plastic straws, and she got 5,000 votes of support. I'm going to say immediately, but in a relatively short time, I don't know the exact time frame. That issue went before the government of Taiwan. The government of Taiwan reviewed it, and they voted, and they banned plastic straws in Taiwan. Now, I don't know about you. I believe that plastic straws should be banned across the world. I don't think there's any need for them. And I think that we should be doing everything to prevent as much single use or wasted plastic use as we can. And as a matter of fact, Happy Harpy, we could have the International Online Democratic Plastics Nation. Imagine if all of the people who are worried about our environment and plastics were united online, and they were sharing the newest innovations in biodegradable bags, okay? The newest innovations in how to get rid of single-use plastics, okay? All of this is possible if we unite online and we work together. And any issue and any cause that you're concerned about, you get to share that with people. You get to champion that. And just like they do in Taiwan, if enough people support you, then you get to move that forward. So, for instance, at IOD Nations, uh, we're going to be sharing a video today and an email campaign to Simon Sinek, Trevor Noah, and Stephen Bartlett. We'll share a couple of videos with them and the issues that they have spoken on, and we're going to reach out to them with how IOD Nations can help them achieve their goals and objectives. So let's do that. Rakesh, can you pull up the Trevor Noah, Simon Sinek, and myself video? Can you bring that in so we can share that with everybody?
Yes, give us a moment. Draco is
Okay.
playing that video for us.
Okay. So for everybody, while we're waiting for this, you're at iodnations.org, International Online Democratic Nations.org. We are dedicated to uniting as many people as possible online as pro-democracy world citizens to collaborate. So, Kathy, you commented about the women's area. Chardonnay and Jill are here. They're going to be working with that, and you should feel comfortable to reach out to them. Our email is hello@IOD Nations, and they will share that address here. Let me see. hello@iodnations.org. And we would love anyone who wants to work on any of these areas. We would love to have you guys reach out. And Makita, we see you in your Zoom, IOD Nations. And here we go with the video.
What the fuck is it gonna take? The clock ticking, democracy slipping, snakes in the kitchen, freedom in a chokehold, yo, who's gripping? Socrates whispers truth bombs, no fiction. Big hands Newsom, palms on the gavel, world unravel, systems fragile, typing revolution, scrolling battle, scrolling but silent, nah, we can't straddle. Make democracy offensive, what's the price? Power to the people, not the roll of dice. Unite online, ignite the fight, blow the shit up, bring the wrong to light.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to iodnations.org, International Online Democratic Nations.org, where we're dedicated to getting the world to discuss international online democracy and online citizen-led democracy. On today's show, we will see some clips from a podcast with Simon Sinek and Trevor Noah, and they will be talking about constraint and how human beings collaborate and work together far better when they are in constrained situations. So for instance, you'll see some discussion about Soweto, where Trevor Noah grew up, and they're discussing how in a poor, impoverished community like this, these citizens are forced and constrained into working, living, and functioning well together, and how they adapt and accommodate to that. And so we will be looking at that in how it relates to online citizen-led democracy. We hope you enjoy the show.
In the cases, there's some sort of hardship. It's like as hardship is relieved, and choice is a relief of hardship, then for some reason, our ability to cooperate and put up with each other seems to go down.
So I will agree with one part of it. I still come back to, I don't even think it's hardship. I think it's just the constraining factor. Here's why I say this. Let's say there is an island of mega rich people, and they go hang out together, and they're on this mega rich island, and they do whatever they want to do, right? It's the mega rich. They're having a great time. If they are confined or constrained in some way, they will find the same thing, and they do find it temporarily. So if you've maybe been to them, I've visited them on occasion, but you get these places where people go to these like golf resorts and it's like, wow, what is this place? And in that place, I have found people have a different level of community, a different level of enjoyment, a different level of, it's like people buzzing around on golf carts and people meeting, and there's only the 4 restaurants, and all you can do is choose from one of the 4, and so you just rotate. Yeah, we'll do the Spanish place on Monday, and then we always love doing the Italian place on Wednesdays, and
I'll have the eggs again. Yeah.
because all of a sudden you're constrained. So there's this weird thing that happens. I even think about it for my life as I go, the great curse is going to be the choice. The great curse is going to be knowing that you can choose. So how do you create artificial like constraint for yourself to help yourself?
So what we see here in this discussion between, go ahead and pause
Simon
that,
and Trevor.
Rakesh. Rakesh, while I'm talking, if you can prepare, we're going to skip that forward to where they're talking again. What you're seeing here is this idea of constraint. And at IOD Nations, we propose that the constraint be that you are clearly and obviously pro-freedom and democracy, and that we all unite and collaborate under that umbrella as pro-freedom and democracy world citizens, okay? And what the constraint does, for instance, in Soweto, where Trevor Noah's talking about it, and in that rich area, that where everybody's driving around in their golf carts, it's 2 completely different methods of constraint, but they both accomplish the same objective, right? They build community. In Soweto, other families may watch children or provide transportation or go shopping for someone who can't go shopping because they're disabled or they're at work or whatever it is. And their kids all play out together, in the front yards, where when people, Trevor talks about it pretty extensively if you watch that whole podcast, where once people get wealthy enough to buy a home that has a fenced in backyard, then everything, I won't say everything changes, but there's a noticeable change. And instead of the kids always playing out front together in the shared area, they're playing in their backyard and they become more isolated. And what we contend is that we've all become way more isolated from each other from a standpoint of freedom and democracy. And if you're here, the reason why you're here or why you're going to stay is because you're concerned about what's happening. You listen to Dan when he talks about it earlier in the video, and he says, we all know that our systems are screwed up. And we have this ability to unite online at the click of a mouse. And if enough of us do it, we become insanely powerful and influential. And then we can start having the impact that we want. So Buckminster Fuller said, "Don't fight forces, use them. You never change things from within. If you want to change something, build a new model that makes the previous model obsolete. Dare to be naive. We are intended to be architects of the future and not its victims." And that's why we're asking you to come work with us. We want to reach as many people as possible who dare to be naive enough to believe that we can unite online. We can obtain dominion over our online environment and our online presence. And we can be the architects of a new world of online citizen-led democracy. That's what we're talking about. And the constraint that these guys are talking about is the most amazing constraint in the world. It's the constraint that all of us want. We want more free and democratic world and more free and democratic societies. So go ahead and hit play, Draco.
I think you can have a good time together.
It's constraint.
But if you cannot like change the people or the situation, it
And it
changes
can
your
be fun.
ability to appreciate or get along with the change or the situation.
So there's a story about a shoe salesman in Los Angeles in the 1950s. I can't remember his name, but he was a very successful entrepreneur who owned a whole bunch of women's shoe stores.
Yeah.
And a journalist asked him, "What's your secret?" And he said, 2, not 3. And they're like, "What do you mean?" He goes, if a woman comes into my store, I'll bring her a pair of shoes. She'll try them on. And she'll say, "Could I see that pair, please?" And I'll bring her a second pair of shoes. And she said, "Could I also see that pair, please?" And he'll say, "Which one would you like me to take away?"
Oh.
Because what he found
Wow.
is when they had a choice of 3, they bought none. And when they had a choice of 2, they bought 1.
Ah, I love that.
Right? 2, not 3.
So at IOD Nations, International Online Democratic Nations, we actually contend that this constraint in a way is not artificial, right? If you read the Meritocracy Manifesto that I wrote, and you can get it at iodnations.org for free, what is pointed out at the beginning is that there are only 2 forms of human collaboration that exist throughout all of humanity, throughout all of history, okay? Either humans collaborate in a way that is primarily authoritarian, right? So that's most businesses are primarily authoritarian. You know, even if they have a board of directors, the board of directors meets and makes recommendations or votes, but typically a chairman in many of the situations is the person who makes the final decision. It's more authoritarian than it is democratic, although some boards might be purely democratic. And then that would be a more more free and democratic form of human collaboration. But there are no other ways, right? From the day of a tribe, either the chief said, "I am leader, you do what I say," or some group of tribe members collaborated in a way and they voted and they made a choice. And that's the only way that human beings collaborate, right? And where we are is in our online world, in our online environment where we all exist, right? We're all united there. We all use our phone or we use our mouse, and we use that in a way to allow Facebook access to us or to allow TikTok access to us. We don't access them, we grant them access to us, right? We've been mind fucked to believe that we access the internet. The internet is like an environment, it's like an atmosphere, it's all around us, right? So we're all already there in one form or another. We all are the internet. But the entities that have power and influence there have convinced us that we are accessing the internet, we are accessing them. But the opposite is actually what's happening. We are the internet. Without us, they ain't shit, right? So we choose who accesses us and why. And when we unite online and we collaborate democratically, right, then we can choose to put up filters that limit the other forms of human collaboration to us, right? We can choose to do business with, we can choose to socialize with, we can choose to agree politically and militarily and religiously with groups of human beings, groups of world citizens who choose to collaborate under the constraint of being pro freedom and democracy.
and too much choice is overwhelming.
Oh
but the
man,
constraint,
I need to apply that to my life. You see, that's brilliant. I love it when people find the nexus of how you're supposed to do it, because I understood it as a concept, but it's a nice way to think about it for anything really.
yeah. And so what I've started doing in my life is I've added constraint, right? And I didn't even realize it until we're talking right now, which is like I've got all these options on the table. Pick, I mean, it doesn't matter what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
right?
no, I know what you mean.
And what I'll start doing is I'll start pairing them off. I'll be like, okay, between these two, okay, get rid of that one. Okay, between these two, okay, get rid of that one. Between these two, and the choices become really easy. And then I get to the final two, I'm like, oh, it's obvious, it's that one. Whereas I'm looking at 6 or 5 or 4 or 3, and I'm like, but this one gives me this, and that one and I'm playing them off and doing sort of,
That's
pros
really
and cons.
Yeah, I love that.
But it's the trick of the flipping the coin.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, should I do this or that? And you like flip a coin.
Yeah, and you accept fate's decision.
Well, the question is, do you want to flip again? It's whether you're satisfied with the coin flip or not. And it works every time. When people are stuck between a choice and you force them to flip a coin, you say the coin decides. And if they're happy with what the coin decides, they go
That
with
is
it.
what
And if they're
yeah.
unhappy, then obviously go with the other one.
Yes.
So what we realize is that if we compare this to the analogy of the shoe salesman that Simon uses, we don't even have to make that choice. That binary choice has already been made because there are only 2 shoes to choose from, right? We haven't yet chosen to really collaborate as individual but united citizens online, right? We're all there, but we haven't picked a location or a methodology or an online democratic environment where we will function. We haven't chosen to do that yet, but those are the only 2 choices that are there. If we're going to unite online and collaborate, we either do it primarily as authoritarian, which is already happening in a lot of ways, or the only other choice that we have is primarily free and democratic, right? So all of this is insanely easy and elementary, right? The the 2
I'm going to have you
choices
pause
have
this in
already
a
been
moment,
made
Rakesh.
because there are only 2. Okay. So Jamie in the comments commented, Simon Sinek's What, Why, How is used in business building. People don't buy what you're selling, they buy why you're selling it. Everyone has a reason why their democratic cause is important. And that is why you're here, Jamie. That's why everyone who's going to reach out to us or decide to continue to follow us, that is the why of why you're here. And so when everything else is done, the reason our freedoms and democracies are failing is because we are failing them. Okay. The reason why we have so many shit politicians in office is because we have failed at democracy. I was brought up to believe that all I needed to do was go vote. Okay, that's what I was taught. And I know everybody here who's here that you experience the same thing if you're a US citizen, right? We were all taught all we had to do was vote. And obviously that's not been enough. But when you're here and you think about how difficult this is, understand that we live in the age at the easiest point in human history to unite online and collaborate in the name of freedom and democracy. The founders of the United States of America had to fight a war. Okay. We can click a mouse, we can unite online, and we can go together and work together. And you won't believe what is possible to accomplish. And that is why you're going to choose to stay here. And that is why you're going to choose to share this, is going to be because you've been looking for a way to influence, protect, promote, and expand freedom and democracy. So let's do this. Rakesh, can you go in and pull up our website and the Civic Action portal? And so for everybody who's here,
Yes.
this is still a work in progress. Okay, we are still working to integrate this with those of you who are interested in participating. And so what we do have, you're going to see several examples here of where people have submitted ideas for things that they would like to see happen. And that is amazing. That's what we've been looking for. Now, there's some challenges with this, and we'll show you those. So on your screen, if you can see it, can you scroll that up, Rakesh, to the beginning where they come into this? So here is a spot where you can come into iodnations.org, and we have issues, actions, and petitions. And so we'll see a couple of those in here, and we will discuss with you the evolution of this and how we're moving this forward. So if you scroll it, show us the title and the description, if you could, Rakesh. So here you can put a title in and a description of what your issue is. So for instance, Kurt, who I believe is Ashfaq, who has worked with me for years and years, he submitted, "Stop the illegal war on Iran." Okay, I think we can all agree that that's a major issue, and it's something that we would all like to see happen. And it's got 11 upvotes. But what we're looking for here is, as we unite online, we basically have primary, again, depending on how many people we have our primary way of exerting our power and influence is going to begin with, the start of it will be with email campaigns. Okay. And so when Kurt puts this forth and says, "Stop the illegal war," what you need to do if you want to come in and go into the portal and put something up there, it should be something, for instance, if you want to do an email campaign to stop the illegal war in Iran, what you should describe is, who do you want to target with those emails? What would you like those emails to say? How can we structure those emails so that they provide a positive, uplifting incentive for someone to take action? And what's the stick, right? Why they want to listen to us? Because we are united online. We are going to be growing. We're going to be powerful. You know, if all of you here sent that email, we've got 89 people in the chat, that might have some impact. But if we have 1,000 people or 10,000 people or 100,000 people, or imagine if 1,000,000 women or 1,000,000,000 women from across the world send an email campaign to a company that is funding and supporting the war in Iran, okay? We know that China is funding Iran and China is funding Russia to break down free and democratic countries and societies across the world, okay? that is a way that you can have an impact if enough of us participate. And so if you're going to come into the website and submit something, we need you to either come in and work with us and help us put it together in a format where people can understand it, they can understand what they would participate in, how it would work. Or you need to do that yourself and submit it in a way where something can actually happen. So we're going to edit this, we're going to work through this, and we're going to put more of a description in there of what we're looking for. Let's go to the next one, Rakesh. What do we have after Stop the War in Iran? Okay, so Hannah submitted an IOD economic platform. I'm thinking about creating a platform to combine LinkedIn, Amazon, Upwork all together, but it's made by the people for the people. Hannah nailed this. The whole impetus for me in communicating about international online democratic nations was based upon a product that I had developed and wanted to bring to market. And then I realized if I brought it to market, can we make that any larger, Rakesh? Chardonnay is saying she's having an issue seeing it. The whole idea that got me into thinking about international online citizen-led democracy was this exact issue. I got to the point where I knew if I brought that product to market, I was going to get ripped off and other people were going to produce it and I wouldn't have the ability to fight back. So I set it aside. I still have that product, okay? And that product could be brought to market for the benefit of online citizen-led democracy. And when we get enough people, we may see that happen, okay? But that idea that Hannah's talking about, if anybody knows Hannah, or we're certainly going to reach out to Hannah, we would like to talk about how to really define and construct that in a way that lots of people could look at it and maybe those upvotes would go a lot higher. And we could start off bringing a first product to market for the benefit of online citizen-led democracy and humanity. So I'm not going to go through all of the rest of these, but if you come into that portal and you want to submit an idea or you want to upvote an idea, or you just want to come in and register as an online democratic citizen of the world, okay, we welcome that. And you can help us, give us ideas on how to do better, and we're going to continue evolving this. And we have a number of people who have responded to our last kind of help wanted email that we sent. I believe we got 16 or 20 people who gave us hours that they were available or hours that they could volunteer during a week and what their expertise was. So for instance, one gentleman is going to, I believe we're going to reach out to him and he's going to come in and help us with security. And that's the type of thing that we're looking for. And if you see Peter, you see Jill, which is Gill. You see Chardonnay, Rakesh, myself, I'm Joel. You can reach out to any of us. So we're going to, anyone who would like to come in and speak, I will email you, Greg. Thanks for reaching out to me. I appreciate it. And anyone here who would like to come into the group and speak is welcome. I'm going to introduce you. I'm going to actually, what I think we should do is let's have, right now we've got Chardonnay, Draco, and Peter up there. And Rakesh is somewhere. Let's get you guys to come in and introduce yourself to people, kind of tell them how you got here maybe and what's going on and what you're working on. So Chardonnay, let's start with you. Or Peter, I'm going to let you take over this portion so you can watch for the hands and we'll let you moderate and stuff from this point. And just so you know, I think yesterday we named Peter Mr. Perfect was what we came up with. So you'll see a change on his name there. So just make sure and give him a hard time about being Mr. Perfect. And anyone who wants to come in and speak, if you are in the Substack chat, let us know and we will invite you in. And Melissa, and I think Melissa is the last one that's new there. We will, bring you guys in to talk as well. So go ahead. Tell them, take it away, Peter.
How you doing, guys? And again, another pleasurable afternoon speaking with you. It's great to work with a group of this sort. Hi, Chardonnay, Rakesh, Draco, Jill. If you're there, I'll say hi, and everybody else who's out there, I'll say hi. How did I get up? How do I? It's been so long since I told this story again, but it's completely by accident I found this site, and it was completely with a miracle. It was just what I was looking for, a place where I can come with intelligent people and working on a platform that I believe, as with Joel and the rest of us here, it's going to be big. And why is it going to be big? Because I feel it's the right time, the right place, and with the world going the way it's going, it's exactly what we need. And with that, I'm not going to start going on and on and on because I can talk about this for hours. But Chardonnay, how are you? And let's hear from you.
Hi,
Introduce
Peter.
you.
Oops, wait a minute. Hold on.
No, now you're muted. Now you're muted.
I had to
Yeah.
mute because Alexa was saying things and I didn't want
Oh, that Alexa.
everybody to get Alexis. Get Alexa'd. There you go. I made that up. Okay. Excuse me. It's wonderful to be here with everybody. People say that as an opening line, but I really mean it. It really is, isn't it? It really is. You feel that when you're here. You just feel in your heart and soul that it's really wonderful to be here with everybody, because I think we were pulled here at the right time in our lives, at the very right moment. Because like Peter, I was like magically drawn to the site. Imagine that. I don't know how I was drawn to it, but oh my, there it was. And it was perfect because until it took me, I worked very hard on the Harris campaign. I gave it all I had for like over 12 hours a day every day. And I just was exhausted. And so it took me months to get over that. And I didn't want to look at anything, think about anything. And then things got worse. And I didn't have it in me to I didn't care. But then one day, I think I cared. And that's when I found IOD Nations. And I was ready. And I knew that I had to be a part. I'm going to turn 76 years old next month. And I just celebrated my 28th anniversary with my new transplanted heart. And that's pretty good. So that's right up there. And so I figure I'm not sure how many beats left I've got. And I want to do something for the world before I go. And this is what I want to do, I think. So thank you all for being here and allowing me to do something. That's why I'm here.
Thanks, Chardonnay. Draco, are you with us, our Prince of Peace?
Prince of Peace.
Agent of Peace, AOP, baby.
Speak to us.
Agent.
Draco.
Sorry, Agent of
Agent
Peace.
of Peace.
I
Draco,
was
where are
talking to
you,
the other
sir?
Draco.
Hey guys, hello world.
Hi.
Hey, Draco.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good. Why are you here, Draco?
I'm looking for some fun. Uh,
Okay.
Well, you're certainly going to get that here.
yep.
Is that it, Draco? Come on, dude.
He's not actually here for fun. You remember the first video we shared today? There was a lot of lag. So whenever we use Wi-Fi and my laptop uh, for sharing this kind of videos, it happens. So Draco got LAN connection, so that's why he's here
Okay.
to share videos.
Oh,
Okay. So Rakesh, tell us about yourself.
Well, I am Rakesh, and currently I'm working as a project manager at IOD Nations. And I don't take this as a job, as Shadon said that he wants to do something for the world, for the people. I exactly feel the same way, and it makes me feel good to work here. Because I believe that digital democracy, citizen-led digital democracy, will established today or tomorrow or day after tomorrow. With the help of IOD Nation or not, it is gonna happen. So I believe that we are trying to do something good for the people, and that is why I'm still here, and I will be here. Thank you.
All right.
thanks, Rakesh. Go ahead, Jill. Go ahead. Jill, is Jill in the room?
No, I don't see her.
Okay, you still have your hand up, Joel. Is you want to say something?
Yeah. So
Oh, wait.
hopefully we'll get Jill in here in a few minutes. Okay. So we are the video that you saw of Simon Sinek and Trevor Noah. We're going to send them that video with my comments today. And anyone who would like to participate in that email campaign, we will give you our YouTube link, or we'll give you an email template that will have that YouTube link in it. Okay. And so that email will go to them. And what we're trying to do, we are desperate to get some influencer of any type to begin discussing online citizen-led democracy. So to give you an idea, I live in California. And we have 2 debates coming up and a governor's governor's race primary coming up. And so I haven't fully looked at all the candidates, but I know that one of the candidates that I like is a gal named Katie Porter. And I would like you to imagine what would happen if Katie Porter at the next debate said this: "My name is Katie Porter, and I am dedicated to the idea that when I come into office, I will establish a liaison, and we will work directly with the citizens of California to establish an online portal and an online citizen-led governance that will interact directly with our state government and my governor's office. And we are going to promote the idea of online citizen-led democracy across the state of California and across the world. And we are asking you, the citizens of California, to unite by emailing our governor's office and indicating that you would like to become a citizen of online democratic California. Now, if that happened, if I heard a candidate say that, and they were expressing a new way that we could directly interact with our government and have power and influence and have our voices heard, that is the candidate that I would vote for, almost certainly, because I want the state government in California to have the same kind of approval rating that Taiwan has achieved by implementing online citizen-led democracy. And if you didn't hear this earlier in the show, or you haven't heard it in other shows, Taiwan went from a 9% government approval rating by their citizens to a 70% approval rating by their citizens. And that is what we're here to promote. And even more than that, once we're united online, so for instance, Peter is from Canada, and you're going to meet Jill in just a second. Jill is from England. Okay. Can you imagine the online democratic citizens of California forming an alliance with the online democratic Canada nation? Okay. And so, despite the fact that our government is falling apart and not functioning, we, the citizens of California, could integrate ourselves democratically online with the citizens of Canada. And we could work together to protect and expand our economies in ways that our government is currently refusing to do. Okay, this is part of the power of online citizen-led democracy. We just don't even comprehend what is possible. And that's why we're asking you to go to iodnations.org, International Online Democratic Nations.org, and join us. Come work with us. I'm going to introduce, or I'll do it since I'm talking right now, but Jill is going to come in. So let's all meet Jill from England, and she'll tell you a little bit about how she got here.
Oh, hang on. My,
We hear you.
sorry, can you hear me? Sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
So actually not dissimilar to Peter and Chardonnay, really. I was not doom scrolling because I don't think it's like that on Substack. I think I was absorbing information and just happened upon this group and just connected instantly because there's just so much noise everywhere, and most of it isn't good, and we're stronger together than any one power. And if there's enough of us as a collective, uh, these people in so many ways, they work for us. We employ them, and so many of them are not doing what we employ them to do. And for me as a disabled person as well, to see people when there is a movement and they're marching and they're out there, I can't do that. So I have to sit and watch in solidarity, which is great, but I want to be more of a participant than that. So for me, something like this is absolutely integral. My life is online in effect, and that's my accessibility. And to be in something that connects with other nations and peoples and is just the possibilities to me are endless. But that's also our problem. I think there's so many possibilities, you know, and that's why we need many hands. Many hands make light work. But I've already met some really great people, and everyone listening, if you join and your values and morals are the same, you'll be treated as well as I have been and as welcomed as I have been, and I think the others would be saying the same. So um if that's you as well, then you know, get yourself signed up, because we need everyone. And as we said, you know, together we're bigger than them. Thank you.
Thanks, Jill. Is that, I don't know if I could take this over yet, Joel, because I don't see any, I don't see I don't have a Substack chat box.
Okay,
So I can't see how many people are online or who has their hand up.
no worries. I'll go ahead and roll with this. So we're going to play you a video that will explain what IOD Nations is. But before that starts, understand Jill and Chardonnay and Peter and myself all come from relatively strong administrative and management backgrounds. Now, what we don't come from is tech backgrounds. Okay? So when you consider possibly volunteering, Jill and Chardonnay are going to be doing the preliminary organization, and they're going to be a part of aligning people with their skill sets, their available schedules, and the campaigns that we have going. Peter's going to be working on his campaign outreach to Canada, and he's going to come up with he may have already, with certain groups that we want to target with emails and how to reach out to them and how to work with them. Like I said, mine, the one that I've got that we're going to put into the portal is going to be the outreach to Trevor Noah, Simon Sinek, and Stephen Bartlett. So you can just participate, or you can just watch. You can just watch and follow us. You can participate in those email campaigns by emailing us at hello@iodnations.org. You can also share your email address right here. Remember, there's 95 people who have come into this chat. You are literally a part of a modern era political science experiment. We are talking to you right now about uniting online. And if you're here and you're concerned, your why is because you're worried about what's happening to democracy, this is a place where all you have to do is send an email or share your email address, and you can be a part of growing our community, growing this collaboration, and working towards reaching out to other people. Because the more people we have, the more the more power and influence you're going to have. And so we're going to do this video, which explains why we are the internet, okay? Why we are the power in the world. And then at the end of that, Draco, make sure we have the second part for how we reach out to people once people unite. So here's the video that explains and illustrates what we mean when we say we are the internet. Go ahead, Draco. Welcome to iodnations.org, International Online Democratic Nations.org, where we're promoting online citizen-led democracy, very much like Taiwan has had for the last 11 years, which has resulted in increased public approval of their government from 9% to 70%. There are three fundamental premises. One is that if a business no longer requires brick and mortar, then a nation no longer requires land and borders. The second one is we are the internet. We do not access the internet. We grant the internet access to us. Without us, they ain't shit. And the third foundational premise is if you are not actively pro-democracy, if you are not pro-democracy, then you are not pro-democracy. So Bernard Shaw said, you see things and ask why. I dream things and ask why not. This is planet Earth. Humans have existed on planet Earth first as tribes and now as nations. Nations are the highest form of human collaboration that has ever existed. But does a nation require land and borders? In this next slide, you see us, the humans, the world's citizens who are on planet Earth. Currently, we are being used and abused like crops or cattle or swine, and we are being exploited. About 30 years ago, Al Gore invented the internet. And at IOD Nations, we ask you to consider looking at the internet as if it's its own environment or atmosphere, and it completely surrounds planet Earth and all of human existence now. So our world has changed in ways that were never viable or did not exist until Al Gore invented the internet. And now this is what's happening on the internet. We currently have these entities. These are a visual simulation of some of the most powerful and influential entities in the internet, but they are not the internet. They have trained us, in essence, to think that they are the internet. And the arrows that you see going out is this representation that we have. If I were to ask anyone here, do you access the internet? And virtually everyone would say yes. And that's what the arrows demonstrate, is that we are accessing them. And these are bad actors. They are malicious. They are destroying world democracy. And they believe that they've also already obtained dominion over the internet. But here's what they don't realize. We are the commodity that they market. Without us, Facebook can't sell advertising. We think that we're actually accessing Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or TikTok. But the reality is we're granting them access to us. But if we choose to unite online, as for instance, the IOD US Nation, the IOD Women's Nation, the IOD UK Nation, these are citizen-led unifications. They are separate from our existing traditional governments. These nations, like the IOD Youth Nation and the IOD Art Nation, they can have their own constitution. They can have their own Bill of Rights or Declaration of Independence. They can have their own voting systems with ranked choice voting if they want. They are their own nations. They are their own entities. But what is amazing about this is by uniting online and establishing some filters, we realize that we can set up filters that do not grant them direct access to us, because we are the internet. Without us, they ain't shit. Okay? When we unite and we establish that every entity that wants unfiltered access to us, whether that's economically, socially, religiously, politically, internationally, If they want access to us, we require that they prove that they are pro-democracy. Otherwise, they get filtered access to us. And at this moment, when we do this, we have completely flipped the script, right? All we have to do is target any one of these entities or any one entity with enough people united online, and then everybody, all of the others, once you down one or once you significantly impact one, all of the others, if you're large enough, if you're united enough, if you're collaborating well enough, they all start coming to us. Then when that happens, we aren't in this feed trying to figure out how to protect ourselves from them. They're in a feed like this trying to figure out what they need to do to get access to us so that their business models stay viable. And if they don't adapt, if they don't demonstrate that they're pro-freedom and democracy, we are the internet. Without us, you ain't shit. And that's when we flip them off and we let them know that the whole dynamics of what's going on in the world have just shifted. And everything, economically, go ahead and pause socially, that, Draco. militarily. So the arrows that you see there, that representation is if Facebook is reaching out to us, okay? If we unite online, that second circle that you saw represented there is like a filter. And it says, if you're a social media platform and you want access to us, the online democratic citizens of the world, you have to prove that you're pro-democracy. If you're not actively pro-democracy, then you aren't pro-democracy. So right now, for us to run an ad on Facebook, if that ad uses the words freedom or democracy, it's almost certainly going to get stopped. If it's not stopped, the algorithms will downrank it to such a point it will be a waste of money. Now imagine that. The biggest social platform in the world that is only a viable business because of freedom and democracy has put up filters to stop us from advertising freedom and democracy. If you want to know why our freedom and democracy is failing in the world, it's because we continue to utilize them, right? We continue to grant them access to us, even though they are not pro-democracy. Why would we do that? Okay, we can go into Claude. We actually, on our website, we have a very rudimentary social media platform that you can interact with. We could all go to Blue Sky and say, we would like Blue Sky to become the pro-freedom and democracy social media platform of the world. And here's a couple, we might say, here's a couple of additional changes to your platform or additions to the platform. And we, the pro-democracy citizens of the world, would collaborate with you to make you our social media platform. Okay. At some point, we, as self-determinate citizens and pro-freedom and democracy citizens of the world, we have to be willing to at least click our mouse and make some changes if we want freedom and democracy to survive and thrive. And currently, we're not doing it, but we can. And you can be a part of that, okay? On whatever level you find, share an email with us. Send us an email. Come in and work with us. Be a part of this. We're going to put out this email campaign to these influencers to try and get them to begin this discussion on the world stage. So I'm going to have Draco is going to show you the second part of that video, which is a much shorter part, and it will explain why it is imperative to unite online first, why we have to change the way we're doing things. So it's not really a video, it's two images. So in this image, we chose groups. One, we chose Canadians, women, Black, Indigenous, and people of color, unions, and Ukraine. Okay. All of these entities are wanting support. Okay. Canadians want you to do business with their businesses. Okay. They want you to support their freedom and democracy because they're championing freedom and democracy across the world. Women, women across the world are one of the groups that's going to suffer the most with the changes that are happening with the rise of authoritarianism. Now, all of these groups are reaching out to us as individuals, right? That if they were a political group, they might ask us for donations. Same thing with Ukraine, okay? Unions might want to reach out and try and get some more people to support unions in different ways, okay? But they're reaching out to us as individuals, and they have all of these groups. So for instance, in women, you might have Planned Parenthood, Now, other different women's groups. I'm not that well versed in who they are, and they're all reaching out separately, right? And they're trying to get us to support them. And what's happening is, if you're like me, I get, I've supported various politicians and political movements, and they've sold my email addresses. I get pummeled on a daily basis with people telling me to read what what the worst news that's happening, or to send a donation for a certain political campaign, to the point I often don't even look at them because I'm so overwhelmed by how I'm being pounded. But imagine this. Go to the next slide, Draco. What happens is, if we unite online, okay, and now let's say that Planned Parenthood and Now and these other women's groups all unite under the umbrella of the International Online Democratic Women's Nation. And those women recognize that the most important, the imperative to their rights and freedoms right now is the strength and vibrancy of democracies across the world. Okay. We must prevent the authoritarians from dominating the internet the way they are, because they will use that, and they have used that, to dominate us and turn us into a commodity. So these women could come up with a particular outreach campaign to all of the pro-democracy citizens and pro-democracy groups. So in this big mass of people that you see here, that could include the International Online Democratic Women's Nation, and the International Online Democratic Youth Nation, and the International Online Democratic Art Nation, and the International Online Democratic Ukraine Nation, and Canada Nation, and Union Nation. And this women's group could reach out to all of them and say, we are putting together a campaign to compel every company that primarily sells women's products to be pro-democracy. We are going to demand them to put being pro-democracy into their mission statement. We're going to demand that they demonstrate how they're supporting democracy in the world, or we're going to buy our products from somewhere else. And we want all of you pro-democracy citizens across the world to support us as we go after these companies that are not supporting democracy for women. And all of a sudden, imagine you're Maybelline or whoever it is, and you get a million or a billion emails that say, hey, Maybelline, you had damn well better come out and demonstrate how you are pro women's rights and pro freedom and democracy for women, or we can go get your products made by other producers. And we will do that, and we will start new businesses. And like I think it was Hannah in our portal said, to create this new kind of online economic model. In another video we do, Simon Sinek says that's one of his 3 major goals in life is to create a new business model. And we can create that just by uniting online. And that is what happens when all of you decide to come in and help make this happen. So, if anyone would like to come in and speak, you can. You can type down there that you would like to come in to the group and speak out with us. I will throw this in there for you. If you think that there is some reason as a part of this political science experiment, if you think that there is a reason why you shouldn't share an email address to just possibly do something to promote online citizen-led democracy, why? What is that reason? Okay? You almost certainly came here because you're worried about freedom and democracy. And there are people in our military and our justice systems, there are politicians, there are social activists, there are people there are military members putting their lives on the line to protect our freedom and democracy. And you sharing your email is really not that big a risk. I honestly don't understand. And if you don't believe in us, understand this. Online citizen-led democracy is going to happen. And the group of people that you see here, these amazing people, Chardonnay, Draco, Rakesh, Jill, I believe that's Shyam, Peter, we will be swept aside, okay? Powerful and influential pro-democracy people across the world will end up coming in and leading these movements. There will be amazing women who become the founders and leaders of the International Online Democratic Women's Nation. They don't need us and they won't need us, okay? They will push us aside. The youth of the world will do the same thing. The LGBTQ plus will do the same thing, okay? This is not about the people that you see in front of you. This is a macro pro-democracy, citizen-led online movement. And if you work with us, all you're doing is help to get this rolling. Okay? It's going to get way bigger than any of us are. But how cool would it be? You know, Chardonnay made a comment. She was talking about doing something good for the world, and Simon Sinek commented on that in his podcast with Stephen Bartlett. And Simon said he wanted, I don't have that quote in front of me, he said he wanted to make sure that he leaves the world a better place. And the quote that I use is this. Horace Mann said, "Be ashamed to die without having won some victory for humanity." You're right here. All you have to do is click your mouse or tap your screen, and you can possibly be a part of winning a victory for humanity and freedom and democracy. And we're going to track the numbers. How many people here will share their email addresses and want to participate? And that's our political science experiment. And we'll continue to work on our messaging and what we do, and convince you that you are a powerful and influential pro-democracy world citizen if you choose to be. And that's the best I got.
That's a good one, Jill.
Pe-
Joel, I think Jill wants to come in, but I think Draco has to invite her in.
Who does? Jill? Jamie.
Yeah,
Oh,
Jamie.
I see it.
Well, no,
Oh,
not
Jamie.
that not that Jamie wants to, bless her. Now I feel terrible. I'm putting pressure onto her. But Jamie had some really good input on Monday, and has got a really sort of quite wide skill set. And I just thought if she was willing, it might be good to hear some of that and how she found the group as well. But she's in the main audience, so needs to be.
Okay.
Jamie, would you like to come in and talk with us, Jamie? And if you don't, that's totally cool. I know I'm almost certain you've shared your information and you're going to be a part of the email that we send out. But if you wanted to come in here and chat with us, we would welcome you. You can just type yes down in the Substack live chat and we will invite you in. Otherwise, unless anybody else has anything else, I'm going to play you
She
a
said yes.
last video. She did.
She said yes,
Okay.
yes.
Hey,
Says, yeah, I
can
need
you
an
make that
invite.
happen? Rakesh, Draco, can you guys make that happen?
He said
Something,
she,
I think.
Yes,
Rakesh said
I'm
he's
on it.
sending a link. Excuse me.
Okay, I think Rakesh said he's sending her a link. Somehow,
Yes.
I think my live chat has frozen. So I haven't
okay.
seen any movement in the live chat on Substack for probably 15 or 20 minutes. But we're going to hang tight for Jamie. We're going to get her in here because she has engaged with us in multiple lives and in different ways.
The
So we will
update
bring her
is we
in.
have 145 people. We have 145 people in Substack right now. And Rakesh is sending the link. That's the
Okay, well,
Substack update.
so just so you know, my Substack is stuck at 95. That's how long ago I got stuck.
Well,
So I
there
don't
now
know
you've
what.
got the update.
Well, I
I've been
feel
hitting
much
the heart.
better.
I've been hitting the heart so that it brings up our Substack to where people can see it better. The more you hit the heart, it makes us more available.
Yeah, Jamie is with us, and Kenneth is also with us.
Cool.
Welcome, Jamie and Kenneth. Thank you for coming.
Kenneth, you unmuted first. Do you have something to say? Any questions for us? And then we'll go to Jamie.
Oh, no, other than hello. And I'm an award-winning singer-songwriter, and I'm going to put my award-winning album in the comments.
Thank you.
How cool. So, Kenneth, let me ask you a question. What do you think of an online democratic art nation and the musicians creating their own music sharing platform where they benefit from it? What do you think of that idea?
I think it's a fantastic idea.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah. We actually met this morning and I listed that as one of the primary groups that we should be reaching out to. Have you shared your email address with us?
I don't think so.
Would you be willing to?
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to be reaching out to artists and musicians. So
you should reach
please
out
feel
to
free
Will.
to share your. Who's Will?
Willing to?
Willing.
Say that again, please, Kenneth. Kenneth,
he's willing
repeat
to. He's
that.
willing to leave his email address.
Okay.
I'm joking.
Okay.
His name is Will. Willing to. He's willing to leave his email address.
I caught it. That was
Alrighty.
hilarious.
Glad you like that. I'm known for
All
my sense of
right,
humor,
we've
by
been
the
too
way.
serious. We needed a giggle.
We did.
We do.
Yeah.
It was time for
Jamie,
Kenneth and his giggle. Thank you.
Oh, I've got
let's.
something even much funnier than that, but only if I'm
Oh, we
asked to
do
share
too,
it.
Kenneth.
You
We do
do.
too,
Okay, wait.
Kenneth. We'll
Well, let's take a
let's
we'll
let's
take a
bring.
break. We'll take a giggle break real quick. Go ahead.
Okay.
Well, wait. Let's bring. I want to wait. Hold on. I want to bring Jamie in because I don't want to lose her. She's been around
Okay.
a
Bring
number of
bring
times.
bring
Jamie,
Jamie in.
come
Okay.
on in.
Jamie,
Hey, hey, how are you?
Hi,
we're
Jamie.
great. How are you,
Wow.
Jamie? It's about time we get to talk to you.
Hi,
Yeah,
Jamie.
I'm
Sorry.
good. Why are you sorry? What?
Well, I didn't want to put you under any pressure, but I saw you
Oh
there and it
no.
looks like we need to speak to
No.
Jamie.
No, the thing about me is I'm usually, quite mouthy. So I'm really trying to stay, quiet and just wait my turn. So I don't, get too mouthy. If I ever, start to mouth off too much, then you just put your hand up and I'll know, oh, it's my turn to be quiet. Yeah. So it's okay.
You're,
I've
No
just been
worries.
you're
listening
on
and
the
taking
clock.
it in.
Same goes for all of us, Jamie.
So,
Yeah.
Jamie, where are you from? How did you find us, and what are your thoughts on everything?
So I think you guys kind of found me because I had said some kind of a diatribe about the injustice of something online. And then you all started following me and I followed back. So I
Okay.
thought, oh, well, that looks interesting. I'll check into that because, I think it was Jill who said something about, doom scrolling, and it's not doom scrolling really on Substack. It's definitely a lot more political, but there's a lot more international stuff and feels like, less of the nasty comments and things. So a good place to kind of, put the angst and hopefully do something with it. Because I comment quite a bit on the Midas Touch stuff on Spotify, and I don't know. I don't know if it ever resonates with people because you don't get comments, and then certainly I get censored a lot on Facebook. Just because friends have said I don't really see your stuff unless I go look for it. So, and I was
Yep.
married to a technologist for 18 years, and we did some startups. We actually did some startups with the music industry, or we had a little, one that was kind
No
of
way.
going after, well, we had a successful exit for one of them, a cyber one, and then mine was a diagnostics platform, which I took to a policy group thing with Zuckerberg and Schmidt Futures and things. But and then after COVID, we tried to work with some folks in the music industry to get artists more money uh, online. So just through a
Oh
few,
my God.
data scientists and stuff, and then wacky me, with my sociology background, and you know, um, to try to get them some more money. But so this, what you're doing, kind of resonates and is kind of a full circle thing for me. After the divorce, I kind of got turned off to startups and big money, and went back to my true love of design and building and remodeling homes because that's how I always knew how to make
Oh,
money. And so, yeah,
my
just
J Jamie, this is so cool because so honestly, Rakesh and I had a discussion this morning before the live, and it was specifically about how, because we're struggling to get traction. We're trying to find a group that can recognize the opportunity here and step in and start developing their online nation, in essence, right? And
right,
artists, my comment to Rakesh was, artists are a lot more creative. They're more inclined to try new things. It's a part of what they do. And
right,
I freaking hate. I am not technologically leaning. Okay, so
Yeah.
I currently still use Spotify when I despise using Spotify. Okay,
Yeah.
and
I ran into that when
and
yeah, but I actually cut it off for a while, but I couldn't live without my music. I mean, my father's side were musicians and contractors. I can't play an instrument or carry a tune in a bucket, but I can't live without my
so
music.
my my father and brother are both, my dad was a professional musician and my brother is a
Hmm.
professional trumpet player. And I was a real estate developer for 18 years until I got my ass kicked in 2008. So,
Yep.
Oh, that
um,
happened to me too.
I did real estate
who's
for a
that?
minute and found it skeezy.
Kenneth Zink. I had
Yep.
Kenneth, you
four
did?
properties. Yeah, I had 4 properties in 3 states worth 1.3 million, and the floor fell out from under me.
Yeah.
I had 7
Dude.
spec homes under construction. I
Yeah,
lost everything. Hey,
I got to
Kenneth,
keep one property.
guess who I
Guys,
saw 2
guys,
weekends ago? Yep.
Who?
can we
Sorry.
get back to, can we get back on topic
Yeah.
soon?
Yes, we
You got to tell
can.
me who.
Oh,
Sorry
there
about that.
goes the voice
I,
of reason.
I
Yeah.
I'm, I, you're gonna call me something else pretty soon. I know that, Joe.
No.
Joel.
That's okay. Okay. So Kenneth, I saw Tommy Emmanuel. Jamie, um, here's what we need to talk to you about. Are you interested in working with us?
Well, yeah. I
Okay.
sent my email, but I haven't seen an
Okay.
email. I do work a full-time job, but there's a
Okay.
lot I can do in my off time. And I think, yeah, back to, I've had a Silicon Valley business advisor basically beating me with a copy of the Lean Startup to refine your idea. How are you going to sell it? How are you going to fix it? How are you going to do it? So, and they did really pound down Simon Sinek. It is your what, your why, and then your how. And I think that the how needs to be really refined here on how we can create these groups. Um, and I don't know if maybe we start small at kind of ground level, if it's email, if it's some kind of advertising, but I have a lot of ideas I think could help.
So
Um,
here's what I'd like to offer you. I'm going to ask Jill, in case you don't know, Peter's going to shoot me here. Jill sang in a band that opened for Jefferson Starship.
Sweet.
So Jill and Chardonnay are going to reach out to you. And what we would like to do is we're putting together some work groups and we would like to work with you on an email campaign that reaches out to music artists and
Oh,
shares this idea and see if we can get someone influential to recognize this opportunity and possibly get this conversation going and
what
move
about
things in that direction.
Jack White, Third Man Records, Detroit based, Eminem?
Jamie, you're like a goddess here right now. To all the people who are listening, this is what we need, okay? Jamie's coming in here. She's recognized this opportunity. It fits into a niche that she has connections and experience, and she's willing to help. And we're going to work with Jamie. Jamie, we will email whoever the hell you want to email, and we will try and get as many people to do it. And we want to do it under the umbrella of international online democracy and how we can turn this into a win-win for music artists and art in general. And that could be one of the things that really kickstarts this and moves it in a positive direction. And I would, I really look forward to meeting with you and talking to you about this. I can't thank you enough for being here. and
Well, look,
you
it's
will be
my pleasure. I'm
contacted
really
directly.
excited. Yeah, that's I mean, all we can do is try, but that comes to mind because he's a, you know, Jack White's a very popular artist. He's on, you know, Stephen Colbert and you know, the late night shows and things. And he's quite outspoken with, I think he's currently got a feud going with Mr. You Know Who about
Yep.
the way things are going. I'm not saying it's a slam dunk, but it's an
Then we
idea, and
love them
it's
Nope.
already.
yeah, love me some
Well,
Jack White,
let me
right?
Yeah,
yeah,
really.
and let me tell you the other one who I want to reach out to is Tim Minchin. Do you know Tim Minchin?
Mm-mm.
Tim Minchin.
Mm,
He is a machine. You can thank me later.
okay. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
very, very different. Very different. So for everybody who's here, we're not going to drag this thing out. All right.
Okay.
Um, I'm I'm not able to see who's responding in our live chat on Substack because I don't want to risk closing it out and losing everything. But um, if you are remotely interested in participating and promoting online citizen-led democracy, hopefully you've emailed us already at iodnations.org
Mm-hmm.
or hello@iodnations.org. Or you can drop your email in either the live chat in Zoom or the live chat in Substack.
Yeah,
I would recommend
I already dropped my email. Yeah,
okay.
couple
Kenneth
times.
Zink, Kenneth, we're going to reach out to you. I'm sure that Jill and Chardonnay and Jamie will be a part of reaching out to you. If anyone, uh, if the guys, if you can share Kenneth Zink's link for his music into our Substack live feed, if it hasn't been shared there, we are committed to working to help and share anybody who is working with us. Jamie, do you have a Substack?
Yes, I think it's just
Would you
Jamie
like to,
Meacham.
and is MEA or MEE?
Meacham.
Yeah, I already have
Okay.
her Substack, Joel, so
Mm.
don't worry about that.
Okay.
I don't have much
Okay. So,
activity. Yeah.
okay. Well, maybe we can help you and maybe we can help you with that. So, Peter, is there anything else you would like to add before we close this show out? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are growth. Think big. That's my thoughts.
Yeah.
Think big. But there's a bunch of Democratic Substacks that I'm looking at there, and one big one, one podcast is Charlie Angus. Somebody mentioned here, I think, the
Oh,
Midas
yeah.
Touch. Oh,
Yeah.
people are familiar with that. I've already wrote to them. I have your emails for the for the Katie Porter. I wrote to her,
Okay.
and we'll see where that goes. But I will I'd like to put that on my Substack too. What's his? I forget his name already. It takes me a while. The musician,
Kenneth?
Kenneth.
Kenneth
Kenneth.
Zink.
I'll put his
Yeah.
I'll put his link on mine too. And
Jamie, I want to, go ahead. Go ahead.
I just want to say, democracy, I think we're all like-minded in that respect. And for what the UN, I take the UN's working model for that. And that, it's respect for human rights, freedom of association, freedom of expression, access to power, and exercise in accordance with the rule of law, uh, pluralistic system of political parties, the separation of powers, the independence of a judiciary, transparency and accountability in the public administration, and free and independent pluralistic media. I think with that in mind, and what's going on in today, I could eliminate half of those, because
Right.
we're moving so far away from that, and I don't know how to coin it. Authoritarianism, ignorance. I don't know what word will demonstrate that, but anybody that believes in all those what I just mentioned should be scared, should be in fear of them all being taken away at one point. So
Mm,
that's the importance of this work. That's the importance. That's what I want.
yeah.
I'll finish off on that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Good.
Let's bring. I got something for Jamie, but first I want to let Chardonnay speak. She's got her hand up, like a good girl.
Thank you, sir. No, I just want to do one last update for you since you're behind. So at this point, we have 155 Substackers.
Nice.
How
So
cool is that?
I think we're doing a lot better than we were. So I want to thank everyone for being here with us. And I would like to request that you share, so that we can get even more, because that's the way we're going to grow. Word of mouth is, or word of fingers is the best way that we are going to grow, because the way things are going, people aren't going to believe what they see and hear lately, but they're going to believe the people they know and love. So if you tell them personally that you've been here and you've heard it yourself and you would like them to join you, then they're going to come. And if we build it, they will come. And we're building it and we're hoping they will come. So please spread the word. And we
Thank
love you
you.
for being here. And thank you.
And I love your little heavenly light
Okay,
behind you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna throw one thing out because Jamie, you mentioned you and Peter both mentioned something similar. So Jamie, you mentioned one of Midas's Substacks or live feeds, I believe, and Peter mentioned the one that is the guy in Canada. I'll bring you in, Jill. I haven't forgotten you. Here's one of the other ways that we're looking to do outreach. So Jamie, I've experienced what you have. I went into several of these live feeds over a period of months, and I would just type in, will you guys talk about online citizen-led democracy, right? Talk about how the citizens can unite online. And in a couple of the feeds I got in there and I was so frustrated. They were their live feeds were just filled with people, and you're seeing exclamation points. Everybody go click on the hearts right now. You would see exclamation points and little puke emojis and all of this stuff, and no one would engage. And I got to the point where at one point I sent about 10 consecutive where I would copy and paste my message in this live feed, and one person types in and they're like, oh, ignore him, he's a troll. And I'm like, I'm a troll for saying talk about online citizen-led democracy? What kind of a troll is doing that? And my point, Jamie, is this. We believe, and this goes for the group in Canada as well, we believe that if we could get 10 to 20 of us to go into one of those live feeds, and I've talked with Chardonnay and Jill about this, and we could all go in there and bring that topic up at the same time and force them to recognize it, okay? If we did that, we might get it. It's just another one of those ways we might get the type of engagement that we're looking for. And so it's not just email campaigns that we're looking at, it's something like that. And we could also do the thing, I bet you there's some good Substacks out there that have to do with music, and we could potentially get to one of those and go over and talk with them and engage them on what we're talking about. So we really do, there's a lot of options and opportunities that are available for us to try, and we're slowly getting it there. We've had some hiccups along the way, but with your help, Jamie, and with the work that Chardonnay and Jill are doing, and Peter and Draco and Rakesh and everybody, we will make this happen, and it's going to change some things. And so we're really happy to work with you guys. Jill, did you want to jump in?
Yeah, and just a couple of things. Chardonnay always manages to make me cry a little bit every time she speaks. It just comes so much from the heart. And I just think that's just so lovely. I think Chardonnay's sort of the mother of us, the matriarch, in that way, that the care. And I've loved the way, Chardonnay, today that you've actually done a running commentary, which wasn't asked, and I think that's been fabulous. So thank you. I'd reached out to Jamie because of her skill set, and we'd had a couple of messages. But one of the things that really hit home with Jamie, and I think again what we've been trying to capture, is we've got the where, and we've got the where we want to get to, and we've got the what, but it's the how, and that's the bit that we've got to start pinning down a little more, which I think goes back to some of our conversation yesterday. So I think having someone like Jamie's skill set as well, with some of our system and so on backgrounds, I think that how is just the really key word for me that's come out today. So thank you, Jamie. I'm now no longer apologetic that I put you on the spot, because I think
You never have to be.
thank you. But I think that was really key, just that one
You always
word.
just have a really lovely and thoughtful perspective, and I really appreciate that. Very
Thank
sweet.
you. Thank you.
So
Makes me miss
I'm gonna
England.
I'm gonna ask Draco to close out the show with Peter's favorite video. And I'm going to remind, so Draco, pull up the matrix. We'll leave you all with a smile, Kenneth. This is probably the most tame of our humorous content. And Jill, never forget the why. We are all here for one reason, and one reason alone. We are here to promote the discussion of and the unification of as many people as possible as online citizen-led democracies. Okay, and that's what everything that we do is about. That's why you're here. You're here to protect and promote democracy, and we hope you'll join us, and we hope you enjoy the shows. So Draco is going to share Peter's favorite little video, and we're gonna end the show on that, and here you go.
This is our construct. A planet of continents, of land and borders. At least, that's what previous generations believe. This is our real construct. The trad world is now subservient to our virtual world. Welcome to the real world, Neo. A brave new international online democratic world. Buckle your seatbelt, Dorothy, because Elon is about to go bye-bye.
So, we do not access the internet. We filter their access to us. We are the internet. Holy shit, we can save Zelensky and Ukraine.
When the world's youth and Others unite online. Freedom, democracy, and the world's pro-democracy citizens will now rule the world. All that must occur is for people to send an email to NATO. Those emails comprise their online citizenship.
Could they save world democracy?
Once united online by the millions, we are the cure.
So international online democracy is the new construct.
If they build it, I will come.
So you're here to save the world.
No one has ever done anything like this.
That's why it's going to work.
Okay, we're going to close that off. Thanks, everybody. We did put a QR code to email NATO there. We're asking you to join us at iodnations.org. That's an older video. Thanks for being here. Thanks to everybody in the team. We definitely need to meet and talk for a few minutes after the fact, so we can all stay here after the live. Jamie, if you wanted to stick around with that, if you had a few minutes, we
Yep.
would love to do that. We would love to do that. If anyone else, I don't think we're going to bring a bunch of people in here unless somebody is really eager to come join us. Chardonnay's watching the live feed in Substack, and if you want to stick around, we will send you a Zoom link and you can join us, but you have up to the count of 10. So I'm going to count down from 10 and we're going to end today's Substack, and we will end the live in Zoom, and we will just be talking for a bit after that. So if you want the Zoom link, say yes in the comments and we will put it there for you. So here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thanks, everybody. We'll
Jamie,
see
you
you
just
next
need
time.
to stay.
What's that?
You
I just need
need
to stay.
to stay. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a
Thank
separate
you.
call. We'll stay on. Yeah.